Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, y'all. What's going on? We're back. Welcome back to a new episode of the Gridiron Jungle. Hopefully, we still your favorite Bengals fans, man. They're not our favorite organization. They're not our favorite organization, but we can be your favorite Bengals fans. I'm your host, Rich, joined by my brother Philly Phil. I
Yes,
ain't even gonna
sir.
ask how you feeling, Phil.
Hey,
What's going
man.
on, man?
We here, man. We here. We back in action, man. We here.
Yeah, man. We've been on a little break. Not intentionally. It's not honestly. It's not even because the Bengals have been sorry. It's just been scheduling and travel. Phil, we went out to Vegas to celebrate his anniversary. He invited the whole squad, so it was a nice little amount of us out there,
Yes,
and
sir. Big 10.
that was after shout out to 10 years, man. Him and Shaq. Um, that was right after the Vikings game, and then coming back, just adjusting from Vegas. If you ever been, and we did Vegas right, just adjusting from Vegas. And on top of my schedule, I got 5 other podcasts going on, so it was just hard to find the time to schedule in. And so we're back. So it really didn't have anything to do with the downward spiral, but I will say we weren't in a rush to make time,
No, that's
given how the
real.
Bengals were playing. You know what
That's
I mean? We
real.
could have made some time, but it wasn't really motivating because of the performance. But since we've been going, last time we recorded an episode, the Bengals were 2-0. Jake Browning had led the Bengals to a win against Jacksonville after Joe got injured, sitting on top of the world. And then since at Minnesota, 48-10, at Denver, 28-3, and recently at home, 37-24 in score of the line or in favor of the Lions. We have dropped 3 straight.
Mm-hmm.
We're now 2-3, remarkably still second in the division. And I'm going to ask you, Phil, how frustrating. Well, for one, how frustrated are you with everything that's going on between the play calling, everything just looking very vanilla, um, the refusal to get rid of to bench Jake Browning. I know we have the Joe
Mm-hmm.
Flacco trade to discuss. How
Mm-hmm.
are you? How frustrated are you with all of that? And how much does it add when you consider that the AFC is wide open right now? Probably the most open it's been since I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time. Really, like it maybe since before Brady. Like
No, that's real.
I feel like it was
And
Brady and then Mahomes kind of took things over as far as the Chiefs and Andy Reid as far as how the AFC hierarchy goes. And I feel like this has been the most wide open. Anybody can make a run.
no, for
What's
sure.
your frustration level like?
Yeah, I mean, it I'm on the record. This year was Super Bowl or bust for me. So when you start the season 2-0, winning 2 games that you had no business winning, that makes you feel good. Like even though you feel bad, at the same time, it's like we're not playing our best, but we're finding ways to win these games. Where in years past we lost those games. New England
Mm-hmm.
early last year, we lost those games when we opened losing to Dallas and Pittsburgh back to back. Like, typically early in the season, we don't win those games that we shouldn't win. So to start the season that way, and then to you know go go on a 3-game losing streak after switching to Browning, who you and I both believed in. I don't know if that's most frustrating, just the fact that we've seen Browning play much better than this. I mean, we've seen Jake Browning set franchise records, you know what I mean? So to see him play as poorly as he is with and with more time on task, so to speak, that is extremely frustrating because like we haven't even been in these games. Minnesota dogged us, Denver dogged us, and regardless of what the score showed, Detroit dogged us. You know what I mean? The defense did enough in all of those games to keep us in it, forcing 4 straight punts, holding the Vikings to 14 in the first half. I mean, the Lions to 14 in the first half. Like, Jake threw 2 interceptions in our own territory. So when you're just giving away points to teams like that, and you're still in the game, that's extremely frustrating, especially when you have the playmakers that we do on offense, especially when you look at the stat sheet and see, wow, damn, the Bengals gave up 1 sack, like what's going on? Like we had more sacks than we gave up, and there's not many games that we can say that. We still didn't fix the time of possession and the balance, but we ran more plays this week than we have in the two previous losses. So, you know, as much as I dislike Zach, there were plays to be made there. There were a couple times that Jake missed opportunities to take a shot to Gesicki or take a shot to Jamar, or maybe he forced the ball to T, which kind of seemed to be a theme when they were throwing it to T. Like, there's so many things to be frustrated about. It's really hard to pick what I'm most frustrated about. Obviously, frustration is as high as you can go. But what's crazy is, and I know we'll talk about it as we get into the Flacco conversation, but like, we're still sitting here in second place, and I don't know if it can. I don't know if things can get any worse than what they have been. So that's the only thing maybe they can. I don't know. Like, that's how I feel. Like, sitting in the stands last week. That's how. Well, not even last week. Just the other day. That's how I felt. Like, how much worse can it get? When Jake is throwing literally 3 interceptions every single game,
Is that
and
is that really a question you want to ask Zac Taylor? You really want to ask Zach how much worse it can get? He'll
I
have an
mean,
answer for you.
yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to, but I don't know, man. I don't know, but I am extremely frustrated. I don't know how much more frustrated I can be, but we're still not the worst team in the division. Like, we're second. We're not even second worst in the division. So
No, we're the worst team. We just don't have the worst record.
that's fair. That's fair. But then on the flip side of that, if we're not the worst team, well, I mean, if we are the worst team, we're looking at we're looking at a team in Cleveland that has, by all of course, decided to, roll with Dylan Gabriel. Lamar's out probably another couple games, and like, I believe that Aaron Rodgers has to come back to earth. You know what I mean? So our guard play has improved. I still don't know what's going on with the run game. They still can't seem to get that going. I don't know if it's
Tackle's been looking bad too.
the tackles have been looking bad. I thought Mims had a solid game, but Orlando Brown hasn't looked like the Orlando Brown that we've known to love. So I don't
You want to
know.
know who? You want to know who looks super washed?
Ted, Ted
Not
Karras,
even
Cam
Ted.
Taylor, Britt.
Tam don't look good. Logan, man, Logan looks.
Oh yeah,
Logan,
yeah,
it might be over for Logan.
yeah. It's time for Barrett
He
Carter.
just
I mean, I just hate that Logan's got so much time left on us. I think he's got 2 years left on that deal.
yeah, and I don't mean like you don't put him out the pasture, but he's just slow. Like Logan looks
Oh,
slow.
yeah, don't no.
He
I mean,
can't
when
get
you
over
only
like
playing 2
just
linebackers, you gotta go. I can't pay you that to be on the bench.
yeah.
You gotta. I
I
mean,
don't know,
the
man.
Bengals
Like
got to
it's
get the Bengals got to do some stuff they're not used to doing, man. So,
I don't know, man. It's I don't know. It's just frustrating, man. I really
man.
don't. I was thinking all like honestly for the past 2 weeks about what I was going to say the next time we turned on this microphone and talked about the Bengals, and I really don't. I don't know how to describe the feeling of having so much hope in something in a franchise and organization, and things
Mhm.
just don't go your way. Um, I know they talk about other sports fans or sports bases being cursed. I ain't gonna say we curse. I don't believe that at all. But because a lot of it is incompetence, and it's just not making. We just don't, man. Every good organization, for the most part, has great ownership. For the
Mhm.
most part, you have a couple rare
Mhm.
occasions where that's not the case, but they have great ownership, and we just don't have owner. We don't have an owner that gets it, and the front office just don't get it. And it's hard to. You can't coach that. It's got to be in your culture. It's got to be in the building. Somebody's got to understand and know it, or at least know when it's time to adjust. Like you can't do things back when you did in the '70s, so on and so forth. Um, and there's just so many decisions that should be made, and an ownership decision that I'm looking at directly is getting a head coach that knows what's going on and knows what he's doing. Like y'all have heard me for the past year and a half. I haven't been a Zach defender because I'll never be that. I call him out all the time, but I still never really called for his job. There was always something that you can tie into it, and he would go on this little run. And it's like, all right, then, well, that's gonna buy him some more time. But was it the Denver game when we had I don't know how many penalties? I can't remember if it was the Denver game or Minnesota game.
Man, it was like
one.
10 in the second quarter in that Denver game.
I can't remember which game. Yeah, it was the Denver game. And those are the things when I start seeing stuff like that, that's 1,000% coaching. That's preparation. Those mental errors, that's just not being prepared to play or not being motivated to play for the guy at the helm. And we know it's rough, but I didn't think for once that this team was going to bat an eye when Joe went down because it's not like it's a new position, right? It's not like New England in 08 or whatever year that was, 09, when Brady's knee got hurt and they had to go with Matt Castle for the year. You know what I mean? That's an adjustment. And even then, that team went 10-6.
Yep.
Missed the playoffs. They missed the playoffs by a game, but they went 10-6 with Matt Castle in an unexpected Brady injury because they were well coached and prepared. And then Bill knew how to, even though talking about Bill Belichick is a great coach right now, it's hilarious given North Carolina. But they knew how to adjust to their strengths, and we just haven't done it. And I think Jamar kind of hinted at it. I don't want to put words in his mouth. He's been saying, I think he said something the other day that we've all been saying. Yeah, everybody knows what we're about to do. Like, it's not a surprise. And me and you got on the phone this past Sunday when Minnesota was playing Cleveland. It was a London game, so it was at 9:30 in the morning, and they were just seeing Kevin O'Connell, the way he schemes Justin Jefferson and his best guys, and just being creative and putting Justin Jefferson in the backfield, play action, and then dumping it out to him in the flats. He was lined up like a running back just because we want to get the ball in your hands in as many creative ways as possible because you can't just run down the field when we throw it up. They know that's coming. They're going to be expecting it, and they're going to double you. You just got the Triple Crown. So seeing McVay and what he does with his motions and the way he can get Puka open and all this other stuff, man. Like, and there's more coaches than I'm probably forgetting, but my goodness, you have. I guess the real frustration is I don't want to look back on these years and say we had Joe Burrow. It's the same way I think about the Packers, right?
Yep.
Shout out to the Packers. And ironically, we're playing them this week, but they won Super Bowls. I'm not saying anything like that, but you had a 30-year stretch, you can call it.
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers.
You only got 2 rings out of that. And that just seems crazy. I know as a Bengals fan, we would love to say we had 2 rings, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying in that sense, but I'm sure if you're a Packers fan, you look back at those 30 years and say, how in the world did we only get 2 rings with these 2 guys? And as happy as they are for 1996 and 2010, I'm sure there's a lot of times where they'd be like, yo, we should have had way more. Like, that's kind of insane. But winning, cures all. And the Bengals, our issue is we haven't won anything. So we don't have any ring to lean on and say, at least there was this year. At least there was, that one season. Like, now we don't have it. So we don't have that time and that luxury to wait for the front office and everybody to get their act together. And it's just frustrating when you're just such a diehard fan and you feel like you're out of it in week 5, man. It's just, I don't know, man. We just spinning the wheels. But yet here we are. Here we are, still supporting. I refused to go to the Detroit game. I wanted to see Detroit play. However, it was an afternoon game. They played at 4:25, and I had to be in the office on Monday. I live in Cleveland now. I wasn't driving back and driving right back up for what I knew was going to happen, which was a dog walk. I don't know, Phil. I just had to get all that off, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really tough first half, being there and
talk to me about the vibe at the stadium.
Oh man, it felt like it looked like a FC Cincinnati game in there, man. All that damn blue mixed in with the orange, like it like the black sections, like across, because I'm in the end zone with the north end zone by the pro shop. Looking into the south end zone, the black sections or stripes were legitimately blue. Like it was crazy. I don't know what it looked like on the TV because I didn't rewatch that game. I didn't care to rewatch that game, but it was so much blue in there. I mean, I sat next to Lions fans. They were everywhere. You know what I mean? So that part was crazy. And honestly, there was never a really time where they were really overly excited because, like, I don't even feel like Detroit really played like they should have played. They punt.
They
They
took it so light. They
Yeah,
didn't
they
have to pull out
punted
the
a decent
bags.
amount. They wasn't going for
Yeah.
it on fourth down. They wasn't trying to run it up. Like it was just a really friendly game, and I didn't understand that if I'm being honest. But you
So you
know,
don't gotta beat us. You just don't gotta lose.
like
Teams
I
don't have to
said,
go
man,
out there and win. Just don't go
that
lose. Trust me, the
that's
Bengals they'll give you that dub.
That's facts. But it's three straight games where you score 3 points in the first half, and that's just not winning football, man. Like I can't even I the whole game I was pissed about the first drive where we elect to punt it, where we could have kicked a 60-yard field goal and try to get some points. Like I don't understand why you pay Evan McPherson as one of the top kickers in the league, and his dude's attempting 60 plus every single week. You know what I mean? And the way that we've been playing, especially in the first half, how many more chances are you going to get at points? So it really could have been 14-6 at the half with us getting the ball with a chance to go tie it. You know what I mean? Or a one possession game. That changes the whole attitude, outlook, perspective of your team, and just, you know, you think about all the times that Dan Campbell goes for those fourth downs and how it galvanizes the team. Like there's just never anything to get you excited about with this team. Nothing from Zach, you know, and there were times where it even seemed like we were kind of losing. Like Jamar was damn near losing interest. It felt like man, why I got to keep making tackles, bro? Like what in the world, So and then
Did you know Jamar Chase has more solo tackles this season than
Micah
Michael
Parsons,
Parsons?
yeah. Yeah. And that's thanks to all the interceptions that Jay keeps throwing. You know what I mean? And Jamar being Jamar, he gonna make something happen. But it was just a
Shout
really
out to Jamar for it. Jamar, like he's wearing that C on his chest, man. I think he's
absolutely,
doing a great
absolutely.
job, with the media and just kind of trying to speak to his team through the media and be a voice in the locker room, not giving up any hope, like not sounding
Hmm.
like me. Pretty much, you can't,
Yeah.
you can't walk in the locker room with the attitude that I have right now. It's like, oh man, it's
Mhm.
just bad. You just got to control what you can't control, and they're professionals, and we know that. But I am glad to see that it's not like it's just a tank fest or something, and that's not. These
Yeah.
guys aren't built like that, so I don't even want to say
Nah.
it in that sense like I would expect it. But I don't know, man.
No, I hope that Zach truly is on the hot seat. I don't care really what happens the rest of the season and how it goes. I don't even care if we rally. Like, I don't really think there should be anything that can save Zach from losing his job. I know they're not the type to fire a coach in the middle of the season, but
Not since Shula.
facts. How unprepared this team was, how much they talked about attacking the offseason, how much they talked about new O-line coach, new D-line coach, new defensive coordinator. Like for it to have the same issues, like you can't tell me that the people that you bring in to hire just did well other places and come here and have the same issues that the people before them had. Like it's that. And we got to stop trying to band-aid that. He wasn't a good offensive coordinator in college. He wasn't a good offensive coordinator in the NFL, which is why he was sitting as a quarterback's coach when we hired him. I don't understand how much longer we have to, do
Uh,
this Zac Taylor experiment.
Can I can I can I be devil's advocate?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I'm sure you've seen this stat. I thought it's fascinating. I want to get your thoughts on it.
His record without Burrow.
Record
Yeah,
with and without. So without
yeah,
Burrows, Zac Taylor is 4-30-1.
yeah.
All right.
You,
Four
you, I
wins,
mean,
30 losses, one
that's
tie.
like zero chance.
Yeah, yeah. With Joe Burrow, it's 47-17. I want to get your thoughts on that. And I think that's part of the problem. Actually, that stat could be the reason why. That's more of evidence as why I might get rid of him. Just because
That speaks to
Joe
Joe's
Burrow,
greatness. Yeah.
it's not just Joe's greatness, but just what it really speaks to. And this goes for Duke and everybody else. You were putting everything on Joe Burrow. And it's a luxury. Yes, it's a luxury when you have Joe and
Mm-hmm.
everything's right. But you know that's not always the case, and you got to still be able to build a team that can compete without your best player. Because think about how good they'd be if he was there. You'd have a complete solid team. You can't just rely on Joe to do everything. It's not really, the best option. Go ahead.
And I was gonna say that's the thing. I feel like this team is built to be that. You know what I mean? Like I look at that Niners team that just went out there against the Rams, and I look at that receiver room, and I look at Mac Jones. He looked like a Pro Bowler out there. You know what I mean? That's coaching. That's having the guy prepared. This is a dude that couldn't keep the job in Jacksonville. Like
your boy,
what? You know what I'm saying?
Your boy Darnold, man, out there seeing
Darnold.
Casper.
You know what I'm saying?
When he was in Minnesota. Even now, he balling.
Yeah, I mean Kevin O'Connell got Wentz looking like MVP Wentz. I ain't gonna go that far, but they winning games. They're he doesn't look like the Wentz that lost his job the past 3 stops. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you could stick anybody over there. I feel like you could grab a Brett Rippon, a Mike White, and go stick them with one of those coaches, and they'll be fine. I feel like if Jake Browning was with the Niners or with the Chiefs or whoever as a backup somewhere. The Rams, somewhere there's a good coach, you know what I mean? It makes the world of a difference because you look at guys with one coach and they look great, like Brock Purdy getting the contract that he got. That was all Shanahan, man. Like dude was Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. So when you think about a talent like Burrow and pairing him with a good, like I think about how successful Mahomes has been with Andy Reid, that consistency that he's been able to have, that level of greatness that he's been able to play under. Like if Joe Burrow had that, like how incredible could he really be? Like how amazing could this team be if we had somebody that it was, I mean, just a middle of the road coach, even I feel like, you know what I mean? Like I'll even take a guy that's unproven that is shown to be a good play caller, like a Joe Brady. You know what I mean? If that's the route that you want to go, if you want somebody that's young, it's probably gonna be cheap. Like Zach showed you that he wasn't a good play caller. That's why he went from being an OC to being a quarterback coach. So like, it's just mind-boggling, like as much as I try to support the organization and the decisions they make, I've never liked the Zach hire. You know what I mean? I do think we have good personnel. I do think we have a solid team. It's not there's nobody that really gets you like extremely excited outside of the big 3 and Trey Hendrickson, but that's not to say there aren't talented guys on that team. Like I love BJ Hill, I love Joseph Asai, I love Dax Hill. I really like Chase Brown, I like Yoshi, I like Burton, I like Mitch Tinsley. It's a cool story. Like there's talent on those teams. There's not like maybe not guys that you're gonna like talk about as a casual fan if you're like not a Bengals fan, but like I don't think this team is as bad as they've been playing, so that's the part that's really frustrating. Like when Duke was saying we have a championship caliber team, like I was screaming Super Bowl or bust. Like I don't think that's crazy, like so for us to perform as poorly as we have is just crazy. Just because we've lost Burrow, like yes, I know he's our best, if not our best player, our second best player, but like
forget that ours, the best player.
Nah.
Like,
Jamar, baby.
No. I'm talking about in the league.
Oh
Forget
yeah.
ours. Like I'm just talking about that. Just putting it on in reference. Like it's not just about our team. He's going to be the best player on
Facts.
30 teams.
Facts. Without
how many teams? Is there 30 NBA or?
It's
32 NFL or 30 NBA? I forget which one has 30, which one has 32.
I thought baseball was 30.
4 times 4.
I don't know. 4 times 4 16, 32. Yeah, 32.
Yeah, so 32.
Yeah.
So out of 30 teams or so, out of the 30 of the 32, 29 of the 32 teams, he's gonna be the best player. So
100%.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'll say this, Zac Taylor. It's like you got a bad coach. Zac Taylor will never, ever get another NFL head coaching job.
No,
Let's get
no,
rid of him.
not at all.
All
And it was cool. I mean, it was great. I ain't gonna say it was cool, but it was good to finally hear him take some accountability in the press conference. Like after the game, he said he had to be better. He had to put the team in better situations. He had to call better plays. Like typically he doesn't do that. Typically he deflects. Typically it's we have to be better as a group. But like the only thing he would ever take accountability for, I feel like, is getting the plays in late because you can't hide that. We see it. You know what I mean? Like we see the quarterback, like, come on, so for him to take some accountability, that's cool. I think he's finally feeling the pressure. I felt like he maybe feels like his seat is getting a little hot. So it kind
I
of
hope
gives
it
me
is, man.
it kind of gives me that feeling of when like Marvin decided to take over the defense when Terrell Austin was doing so bad.
Yeah.
They asked him, like, you gonna give up play calling duties? Like, so I think I've been calling for it. I've been begging, maybe not on here, but in our group chats in between you and I, like I've been begging for the beat writers to ask him tougher questions. Like I've been begging for them to put some pressure on him. And they finally, it's like he kind of almost taken aback with some of these questions that he's being asked, and he's not prepared for them. So
Not
I'm
prepared for
enjoying it.
anything. You
I'm
definitely ain't
enjoying,
prepared for football on Sundays and
yeah.
Mondays and Thursdays.
I'm enjoying seeing that. So
let me ask you a scary hypothetical.
yeah.
Season ends.
Mm-hmm.
News comes out that Bengals are bringing Zac Taylor back. What does that do to you as a fan?
I'm probably gonna cry, like legitimately.
I would consider selling, like getting rid of my season tickets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just because, like, I mean, Joe and Jamar and T are still.
I'm about to say, I
a
told you
draw,
the reason. Yeah, we had a
know?
conversation, and I told you like I would never do it just because we will be good again. Joe's going to be healthy again, and we'll make something happen. And once that happens, I'll be salty if I don't have them.
For sure.
But I would genuinely consider it. Like, I would look at the bill and be like, yo, maybe if they will that happen? Could that happen? Like, what's the likelihood of that happening?
Of them keeping Zach? I think. I mean, I don't know. It just depends on. It depends. At the end of the day, I think it depends on where Mike is on it.
And we finished. Let's say we finished 6-11.
We finished 6-11. I think he should be gone, like for sure. Like I think there's at least 60% gone. Like if we finish 6-11, the thing that I worry about is Flacco being a quick study, him, catching that hot streak that he caught with Cleveland when they got into the playoffs. Like I worry about him, being able to probably. I mean, he beat Green Bay already once this year. I don't know if he's going to start this Sunday, but he did beat Green Bay this year already. So, not saying that we'll beat Green Bay, but I do think he could be ready to play this Pittsburgh team who, despite them being in first place in the division, I don't think they're that tough. Like, I could see them beating the Steelers. I definitely think they beat the Jets, even if Jake Brown and we're still playing quarterback. So I could see a situation where we're 4-4, and going into November. And then I forget who we play. Who do we play after the Jets? I don't have it pulled up. Let me pull it up here. Who do we
I know we got the Ravens on Thanksgiving night. I know
that's
we have
later in November.
I'm about to say that's later in November. We have New England somewhere in there.
Okay.
That's Sunday before the Ravens, we have New England.
So after we play the Jets, we actually have the Bears at home before we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Into the bye. So I legitimately could see us being 5-4 going into the bye. As crazy as that sounds, as bad as we've been playing.
That sounds wild.
Like, and then you get Pittsburgh
with that?
again.
Would you be good with going 5-4, or would you just say I'd rather just be terrible and have Zach out of here? Like, do you even want the hope of Flacco being a quick learn and a quick study, and us actually making the playoffs and making a push?
Like I've never been the one to be able to like get behind tanking or like root for my
Yeah,
team to
me
be
me
bad.
neither. But desperate times call for desperate
No,
measures.
a
I'll
hundred, a
never
hundred
want to
percent.
do it.
Now, if you could guarantee me that us just being bad, like I would lose every single game if I knew that it meant Zac Taylor would 100% be fired. My concern is like, you
He
know,
won't be.
he won't be. So with that being stuck in my head, it's like I want to see us compete. I want to see us win. I want to see the guys having fun. You know what I mean? Because I love this team. Like I love these dudes. So like I don't want them to feel like the national media feels about us. You know, like I don't want them to internalize that. You already had issues with your rookies, with Shamar, he hurt, you know, like so you don't really have there's no vets, there's no Sam Hubbard, there's no you know, the most tenured guy is Trey, and you see how they treated him. So it's just like you know, I don't want those things to compound and then what, you know, and then you're like stuck in purgatory like the Browns. Like I definitely don't want that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
No,
know.
you're right.
Like I could see this team potentially staying afloat for like I think the only reason you make the trade for Flacco is because you believe Burrow's gonna be back. You know, like so or can get back.
I
So
just don't understand why we got. Let's just talk about it. You already brought him up. Today they were recording on Tuesday, October 8th, October
7.
7th.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals traded a fifth round pick for
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco and a sixth round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco obviously was recently named quarterback 2 behind Dylan Gabriel um, this past week. And the Bengals made a move to get Flacco, who is 40, 41, can't remember,
40.
um, 40 years old. Yes.
Mhm.
On the season so far, he is 1-3 as a starter. He has 58.1% completion percentage, 815 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions so far this year. So he's not looked good.
Mhm.
What was your feeling when you got the news that we were getting Joe Flacco after cutting or releasing Mike White from the practice squad?
Uh,
And I know what other quarterback you wanted, but let's
mhm.
just go ahead and talk about the other quarterbacks that could have been out there
Yeah.
and who you wanted to roll with.
Yeah. So to be honest, when I got the news, when the news broke, I wanted to turn my phone off, if I'm being honest, like because I knew the text messages was gonna start pouring in and people's gonna hit me on so like I just knew. And sure enough, you know, it started happening. And you know, like initially it was just like shock and disbelief because I'm like, dude is a lifelong Raven, 2 stints with Cleveland, like a little stint with Indy. Like these are all teams I dislike. So it's just like yuck. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, if you're bringing in a quarterback and not a Mike White, not a Brett Rippon, you know, not that level. If you're making a trade for a quarterback, then you're expecting them to play, you know. So again, you talked about this 40-year-old Joe Flacco. I don't now you're benching Jake Browning. I don't see any way that you can go back to Jake Browning. So why is the
Nah.
why is the trade for Joe Flacco, who this is gonna be his last year, I would assume. You know what I mean? Like you're probably not gonna bring Flacco back next year to be your backup. So you know, everybody knows I love Jameis. Why not go get Jameis? 31 years old, similar style quarterback, gunslinger, big arm, throws catchable balls. You know, yes, he's a risk to throw interceptions as Flacco is, but he's gonna
Hold on.
throw,
How do you say Joe's last name?
huh?
How you say
Flacco,
Joe's last name?
Flacco.
That's like this is like you and Jaceki. You say Jaceki instead of Guseki.
Giuseppe, Mike Gritty. What's Flacco's name? Is it
Flacco.
Flacco? Flacco? I like Flacco like ASAP. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm getting weak. I'm like, hold on, what are you saying?
Yeah.
It's just funny. You really you Lombardi for real.
Hey man. Hey man. His name
He
Flacco to
about
me.
to,
And
hey,
he on
Lombardi
that
about to be back.
Flacco.
Lombardi about to be back to podcast here soon.
Bring him on back, man. But yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna get a quarterback, if you're moving on from Browning, you need somebody that's going to be your backup of the future. Backup is very important here, more important here than most places, because our quarterback gets hurt every other year because of our lack of commitment to offensive line play. So, I mean, maybe Malik Willis, young, athletic, big arm. Gardner Minshew, even like somebody that's been a good relief pitcher, somebody that's had success in multiple systems, not just kind of like a flash in the pan. I'm not saying that I wanted this guy, but these are just options that I would have preferred over Joe Flacco, considering this season and going forward. I mean, I don't want anything to do with Russ, but I would have even entertained that. You know what I'm saying? This is another guy that's won a Super Bowl, been to another, had little flashes here, can get the ball downfield, can get rid of the ball quick. But you're not gonna find another Joe Burrow. I understand that, but to go get somebody that's a statue that's 40, this is like, I feel like this is getting the knockoff Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, no, it's just, I never thought this would be, I never thought he would be in the conversation. And the fact that they didn't even pick up the phone to call the Giants, who had two quarterbacks that you could potentially, pursue, it's just weird. It's just really weird to me. It's just weird. Like, is that the only call you made? Like, I just find that was the first call. Like, I just find that strange.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what that looked like for the front office and how many calls they made and everything else, because that was like you said, I wasn't expecting that news to come across my phone. Matter of fact, somebody in our dynasty league, one of our leagues, somebody said Bengals just traded for Flacco, and I'm just like, I haven't seen it come across my phone yet. I don't believe it. So I went searching right away, and a couple minutes later, there it is. It just was weird, just because, like you said, he doesn't move. His mobility. Now, I just talked about Logan Wilson. Flacco looks slow too. Like, Flacco doesn't look not the same as a couple years ago when he led them to the playoffs. It looks like a completely different person. He's an older guy. Those edge rushers about to have a field day.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with the way we call our offense. If he didn't look good with Stefanski, he's not going to look good with Zac Taylor. And that's just what it comes down to. And it's just mind-blowing that nobody knows that, or nobody in the front office knows that. Now, would it be nice? Is Flacco a gamer? Can he figure it out? Absolutely. All right. Maybe it might rejuvenate him, but I just didn't see it. It didn't make sense. I think everybody, maybe, it could be the prisoner of the moment, because everybody across the timeline wanted Jameis. They've been talking about it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, non-Bengal fans wanted to see Jameis go.
Yeah, somebody, somebody mentioned it today. Like, why didn't y'all get Jameis? You know what I mean? A non-Bengals fan. So I don't know. Like you said, if you're gonna throw picks, which you will with Joe Flacco, you might as well get Jameis, because he's gonna give you a better chance, and he's gonna let the receivers eat. And yes, it's gonna be frustrating, but we knew we were kind of in for a frustrating year. I think the idea is, maybe we can have Joe duplicate what he did. The difference is they had an all-world defense a couple years ago when they did what they were doing. Shout out to our defense, because they actually haven't been playing bad at all. They're average. They're right in the middle of the pack. Shout out to Lou, who's out there smoking things with Indianapolis. Lou wasn't the problem. We all knew that, even though it made sense for him to move on. But I'm glad he's flourishing and having a good run at it.
Yeah.
All I can say is we'll see, man. I'll give out hope. It's Joe Flacco. His resume speaks for himself. Do I think we're gonna make some playoff push? Do I think we're about to start winning games? We might win a few, but I don't see it as being something where we're contending and then Joe comes back and takes over the realm. Like,
when Joe Burrow's in there, the offense is a different style. When Browning, they tried to run the Burrow offense 2023 with Browning, they realized real quick that didn't work and they had to adjust. I'm interested to see what the offense looks like how it's tailored, what adjustments are made, because we are talking about a 16-year veteran or whatever, 15, 16-year vet here, who is gonna approach Zach very differently than both Joe Burrow and Jake Browning have. He may say no, like he may say, we're not running that, or I'm not running that. I'm more comfortable doing this. Like, I am interested to see what that dynamic is like.
I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
I think about week 1 when we played the Browns and the praise that Joe Burrow had for Flacco. So I think that piece will be interesting, because like Flacco's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna allow Zach to call plays that allow him that force him to just stand back there and be a sitting duck. How it's kind of gone. So I am very interested to see how that goes, because it's just like, while yes, we are talking about a quarterback that just got benched for a 4th round draft pick or whatever Dylan Gabriel was, not Russ, who got benched for a 1st round pick. So, but we're still talking about somebody that's had success in this division, has won a Super Bowl, has went on crazy runs. So if it's like, if Zach proves to be equally as bad with him, like, is that just like, oh well, he was washed already, or is it like a heavier indictment on Zach? Like, there's so many things I'm interested to see how they play out. So I don't know.
My bad, man. I'm just thinking, I ain't know Dylan Gabriel was that small, man. I ain't know.
I
when I
didn't
see
even...
Carson Wentz, hey, hold on, something out, man. I saw Carson Wentz come up after the game. I'm like, hold on, who grandson got on?
Bro, I swear I didn't even view Dylan Gabriel as draftable, bro. Like, I still don't. I mean, I know he did play pretty well, but yeah, I don't even know if he's the 5'11" that they list him at, bro. Like, he's
of course not, man. He looked like women still come up and pinch his cheeks. So, hey, little fella, let me bounce you on my knee. Like, I'm like, who was this little guy? Shout out to Dylan Gabriel, man. Out here doing things. Yeah, I don't know, man. That is an interesting point, I will say, because Flacco is a veteran. He could easily be like, hey, man, because Flacco kind of gives me Jay Cutler light, like very dry,
yeah, absolutely,
yeah. So yeah, I don't. We'll see. Maybe he takes things. Maybe he knows football better than Zac Taylor, so maybe he just sees things and makes it happen and has his own communication and runs things. Because we need somebody to really beam in this thing. And if it's Joe, sure, it's a Joe thing. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else while we're talking about the Bengals and Flacco? I'm done. I'm exhausted.
I'm just interested to hear the plan, see what the plan is. Like, I'm tired of this. Oh, we're evaluating all personnel. No, like, is the plan to start Flacco? Are you sticking with Brown in one more week? Like, I would like to know something. So I'm hoping we hear something tomorrow. Because I just kind of want to know what we're looking at. I mean, maybe you're not trying to tip off the Packers or whatever, but like, come on, man. At the end of the day, you got to get out there and execute. Like, deciding between Browning or Joe Flacco, isn't going to change anything that the Packers do. I don't think. They've already seen Flacco. They've already seen plenty of tape on us. So, I think they'll be ready to go either way. So, as a fan, I just want to know what the plan is, so. Because the Packers look good the first 2 weeks, but I mean, this is a team that can be beat. Like,
man, whatever. We win, we lose, whatever. That's where I'm at with it.
Hey, man, look, stranger things have happened, man. It's been a weird ass season already. So
I just can't put my. I'm not taking myself there, man.
No, I'm not saying take yourself there.
I'm either in or I'm out.
But don't take yourself out of it. That's all I'm saying. Don't take yourself.
I'm not out. I'm still, I might show up to the Thursday night game. I might wear white. I'm gonna wear black. Nah, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you ain't
My
even wear
homegirl.
orange to the orange opening orange, so you definitely ain't gonna wear
Well,
white.
because I try to reverse them. I try.
You
I,
might.
I used to participate in Stripe the Jungle and everything else, but yeah, I had I know a woman who, as her own silent protest, wore a different color in the Stripe the Jungle section. She was supposed to wear black. She wore orange. And I think I might just do the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know, man. I don't want to. I'm done. I've reached my limit of talking about the Bengals.
Shaq was glad we were in a black session. She was like, I ain't wearing no orange.
See? Now, when I didn't wear orange, it was, because I ain't got no goofy pants like you.
And yes, you do.
Hey, shout out to you, man. Shout out to Vegas. Shout out to bus stops, all of that. With that being said, I think that's it, Phil. Yeah, we'll see. At Lambeau this upcoming Sunday, we'll be watching. We'll see what happens. It's just been it's been emotionally draining the past couple of weeks being a Bengals fan. So I'm not out of it. I'm still in tune, but the past 3 weeks have been inexcusable. Just from preparation. Y'all know I don't mind losing. Like it's part of the game.
For sure.
Losing the way we have, we gotta tighten up. And that's all Zach, and I'm putting it all on him. And we'll see what happens. So with that being said, we will catch y'all next week to discuss the game at Lambeau. We'll see how our Bengals do. We'll see if Joe is ready to go ahead and take the field. Joe Flacco, not Burrow, in case you've been living under a rock. And we'll make sure that we're here to cover it and have an analysis of the game before we get ready for Thursday night against the Steelers.
Yes,
which could be a potential division-leading game.
It could be.
Prime time. I can't wait. Yes, prime time, Zach. Let's see.
Lock in, man. Lock in.
But all right, y'all. We appreciate you. Please remember to subscribe, like, share. Thank you for your patience during our hiatus. Thank you for letting us vent and get our frustration off this episode. We know it wasn't anything from an analytical standpoint, but it was good just to kind of talk about our frustrations, get it out. Felt like therapy a little bit. And hopefully now that it's out, I can properly adjust and discuss the Bengals moving forward for the rest of the season. We're not going to pull and no shade to them. I respect it.
No, for sure.
I forget the name. I'm sure y'all seen it. There's a Carolina Panthers podcast that recently stopped their production just because they couldn't justify being away from their families anymore. Like, we playing this bad. Like, so I thought about it and I was like, man, like, we can't do it. We ain't that bad. Like, it's got to be some years and years and years.
For sure.
This is just a hiccup and a bump in the road. We still got number 9 back there. He's just, the cape ain't on right now. So we'll be back. We'll see. But with that being said, we will catch y'all next week. Y'all be cool. We out.
Peace.